I pretended to be broke for 1 month and accidentally exposed everyone around me. They say money changes people. I always thought that was a lie, until I lost my job. Or at least, that's what everyone believed. Within 2 weeks, my girlfriend left me. My best friend stopped answering my calls. My relatives suddenly became too busy. Even my own brother told me I was a burden. What nobody knew was that I wasn't broke at all. I was secretly the new owner of a company worth millions. And by the end of the month, the people who abandoned me would be standing in line asking for my help. I'm 31 years old and work as a software engineer. For 8 years, I quietly saved every paycheck and invested most of it. My boss decided to retire and offered to sell me his small tech company. After weeks of paperwork, I became the owner. The deal had one condition. Everything had to remain confidential for 30 days. No announcements, no social media, nothing. Coincidentally, I also quit my old position, so when people saw me carrying boxes out of the office, they assumed I had been fired. I never corrected them. I was curious. Who would stay if they believed I had nothing? My girlfriend Lily called me the next day. She sounded distant. She said she needed someone with stability. After 3 years together, our relationship ended in less than 10 minutes. My best friend Mark stopped inviting me anywhere. When I texted him, he replied 6 hours later with one-word answers. My cousins, suddenly, canceled every family gathering. My brother even joked, "Maybe you'll finally learn how hard life is." Every day someone disappeared. Every day I felt lonelier. But one person never changed. My elderly neighbor, Mrs. Helen. Every morning she knocked on my door with homemade bread. She thought I couldn't afford groceries. She was living on a tiny pension, yet she kept sharing what little she had. One rainy afternoon, my car broke down. A delivery driver stopped to help. We spent almost an hour fixing it. He refused any payment. He simply smiled and said, "Everyone needs help sometimes." His name was Daniel. Over the next few weeks, we became friends. He never asked about my job, never asked about money. He only cared whether I was okay. It reminded me that genuine people still exist. 30 days later, my company officially launched a new product. Local news covered the story. The headline read, "Young entrepreneur buys local tech company." There was a large photo of me. Within minutes, my phone exploded. Missed calls, messages, voicemails. People who hadn't spoken to me for weeks suddenly remembered I existed. Lily wanted coffee. Mark wanted to catch up. My cousins invited me to dinner. Even my brother called me his inspiration. I accepted every invitation, not because I wanted revenge, because I wanted answers. At dinner, everyone acted as if nothing had happened. Lily laughed at my jokes. Mark talked about loyalty. My brother called family the most important thing in life. Then my mom smiled and asked, "So, how much is the company worth?" The room became quiet. Everyone looked at me, waiting. I reached into my bag. They leaned forward. Instead of a checkbook, I pulled out a loaf of homemade bread, the same bread Mrs. Helen had given me every morning. I placed it in the center of the table and said, "This is worth more than everything we're talking about." Nobody understood, except me. The next day, I visited Mrs. Helen. Her apartment was empty. The landlord said she had moved into a nursing home because she couldn't pay rent. I found her sitting alone by a window, still smiling, still asking if I had eaten lunch. I paid for her care anonymously. For the next 5 years, she never knew who covered the bills. One afternoon, she handed me a small envelope. Inside was a handwritten note. "If you are reading this, thank you for treating an old woman like family." After she passed away, the nursing home director called me. Mrs. Helen had left me everything she owned. It wasn't money. It was old recipes, family photos, and a tiny wooden box. Inside the box was a single dollar bill with a note. "The richest people are the ones who never stopped giving." I cried harder over that $1 than I ever would over $1 million. I never got back together with Lily. I never rebuilt my friendship with Mark. My brother still calls occasionally. But every Sunday, I bake Mrs. Helen's bread recipe and give it away for free in my neighborhood. Because the person who had the least showed me the greatest kindness. And that changed my life forever. If you suddenly became wealthy, would you tell everyone immediately? Or would you stay silent and see who truly stays by your side?